We got basketball coming up tonight. Reggie Miller joining us now, the Hall of Famer, NBA on NBC, lead analyst. If I told you in October these two teams would be playing for the title, you would have said what?
You must be out of your mind, Theodore. Look, I think coming into the season, I knew the Knicks would probably have a better shot at getting to the finals because this was supposed to be a gap year for the Celtics. They weren't supposed to be have the second best record. I knew Detroit would be good. Indiana was going to be down because of the Halliburton injury. So I would say New York was closer to getting to the finals. No one had the Spurs on their bingo card playing this well all season long, having the second best record, only 2 games behind OKC, who they beat in the conference finals, and getting to the NBA finals. So no, I think the Knicks were closer, but the Spurs, no.
I'm surprised at the Spurs supporting cast because we're being introduced to them. Dylan Harper has, matured right in front of our very eyes. Stephon Castle has done the same thing. Vassell as well. De'Aaron Fox, we knew. Wemby, of course. But I think that's been the bigger surprise. We know who the principals, the pieces are with the Knicks. The San Antonio Spurs, I think that's been the pleasant surprise. Biggest surprise, though, out of that supporting group to you in San Antonio is who?
For a rookie to perform like this on the biggest stage in Dylan Harper, coming off the bench, look, there was only a handful of rookies even playing in the postseason this year, and Dylan Harper has been at the head of the class. And for him to show the type of poise that he has shown, let's talk and think about this. This Spurs team, the second youngest team to be in the finals behind, I believe, Bill Walton's Portland Trailblazers way back in the day. So for them guys and the trust that we got to talk about the young head coach too, Mitch Johnson. It's just not the players.
Yeah.
It's the coaching staff as well. So look, this is uncharted waters. We keep talking about experience. Experience matters. Oh my God, when are they? They're going to run into OKC and they're the champs. They're playing their own playbook and they're going by their own rules. And here they are. They will be the betting favorites because of everyone you just mentioned. Having said all that, I said on your show, a week, 2 weeks ago, that I like the Knicks. I think how they've played up to this point. My only reservation has been the long layoff. So rust versus rest, what we're talking about right now. But the way they've played up to this point, having won 11 in a row and revamped their offense during the middle of the playoffs, Theodore, think about that. They revamped their offense during the middle of the playoffs. Can that be successful against the Spurs team? I can't wait to see.
All right, let's take Brunson and Wemby out of this. Next in line for MVP for you would be?
I think for the Knicks, probably Cat for the Knicks, and I think for the Spurs, wow, everything evolves around him. But I would have to go De'Aaron Fox. I think his little bit of playoff experience will come to the forefront tonight. And when you saw that in Game 7, all the way up until that point, I know he had been struggling with a twisted ankle, a turned ankle. But if you looked at Game 7, they looked for his leadership, and he delivered. Again, Wemby will be the closer and all that, but De'Aaron Fox sneakily is the second best player on this team.
You went to the NBA Finals in 2000, but you lost in the finals, conference finals in 94, 95, 98, 99.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that they talk about the experience of getting there and then, losing and then getting over that hump. But did you need to lose 4 times in the conference finals?
No, I didn't need to lose 4 times. Look,
but did you learn anything? Did you learn?
Sometimes experience can be your best teacher. Don't get me wrong. It's never good to take your own lumps, but you learn from them. But again, this is a new playbook that we're seeing unfolding in front of our eyes with this Spurs team. Because again, we keep harping on it and they keep proving all of us wrong. They're just going out there and playing. And it's the old it was the Thunder and the Pacers last year, two young teams. There wasn't a ton of experience by both of those teams. And especially last year's champs, the Thunder, they took their lumps, a couple of years ago versus Dallas. But again, this is uncharted waters. And I like that it's like, just go out and play. And whatever happens, happens. And they're proving a lot of people wrong.
If I was going to have a dark horse, maybe a wild card for MVP, I would have OG Anunoby, because if he's able to play Victor and contain him, like he could be an Andre Iguodala, kind of sneak in and steal the MVP. If I was going to look at that from the Knicks perspective, if I was going to look at with San Antonio, I'd probably go with Stephon Castle.
I think you wouldn't be wrong, because both guys defensive minded and both guys are going to have their hands full. OG versus Wemby, that's going to be must see, because are you going to go with size? Are you going to go with bulk and strength? And for Stephon Castle, his defense on Jalen Brunson, think about that. He's had to go against Denny Advia, first round versus Portland, then Anthony Edwards, then the two-time MVP and SGA, and now you get Jalen Brunson. So the run defensively that Stephon Castle is going to be enduring is pretty remarkable. So, yeah, you can make a case for both of those guys.
Reggie Miller, Hall of Famer, NBA on NBC, lead analyst. If Chet Holmgren is your teammate, what are you saying to him?
I'll probably take him to dinner and say, look, you know what the world is going to be saying about you. I think what he has going in his favor is that they did win a championship a year ago. And we did see on the biggest stage, he was pretty good. He just had one of those series, and we all have them. I tell people this all the time. In '99, when we lost in one of those conference finals you're talking about to the Knicks, a series that we should have won, very much like OKC. I didn't play my best in that conference finals, and I felt the weight of that. And I trained my behind off that summer, almost reinventing myself to come back for that moment. And fortunately, I had that moment a year later versus the Knicks, conference finals. We won, and we ended up going to the finals in 2000. I think Chet is going to have to look himself in the mirror, and he's going to have to reinvent himself. And he's going to have to use what everyone is saying about him. Trade him. He's too soft. There was fear in his eyes. He's going to have to use all that noise to motivate him. I want to see. I don't think the Thunder will trade him. He's too young and he's too valuable of a piece. I think they'll add something to this Thunder team, but I don't think they'll trade him. I want to see what happens next year, because if next year if he comes back and he's in the same situation, because guess what? The Spurs aren't going anywhere, right? They're going to be there. He's going to have his opportunities versus Wemby, versus the Spurs. Then if it's a stumble and fall down again, then the conversations will be very valid. And then if you're Sam Presti, you think about it. But look, if you're SGA and the rest of those guys, he helped you win a championship a year ago. You got to give him a little bit of credit for that. But I want to see how he reinvents himself this summer. He's got to work on his game. He's got to work on his strength. And mentally, he's got to be stronger.
Yeah, he's got to get to that Jaylen Brown point where stop deferring. Yeah. Like, be a force. Like, you got to demand the ball sometimes. You don't take a shot in the second half of Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals.
Theodore, could you hear my angst on the telecast?
Yes, I could.
Every time the ball was swung to him. I mean, one time during the game, I was like, take him.
Did Chet hear you? Because
I felt like he may have heard me, because I kept elbowing Jamal next to me, and we kept looking at one another like, is he hurt? Is he sick? Like, it was like mind-blowing. because you just wanted him to compete. That's all you want guys to do at this level.
But
is compete.
Reg, I got to ask, I got to put a little bit on the coaching staff too. You're coaching him. I know it sounds crazy to say be more aggressive, want the ball, be an offensive force, but is somebody yelling at him to be aggressive, to attack? Wemby had 5 fouls at one point.
Okay, but I don't think that's coaching. If anyone, it should be the other players. Like if I swing you the ball, and you have a spot up 3, take it or pump fake, one dribble in. You just don't defer and throw it to Isaiah Joe or to Lou Dort. I mean, I don't care if you miss 10 in a row, but as long as you're being aggressive and he thinks that you're going to shoot Wemby or he thinks you're going to attack him, Wemby, that's helping us out. But when he was just deferring, again, he's got to reinvent himself and get back in the lab.
Okay. If Giannis is available and Milwaukee goes, we'll take some draft picks, first-round picks, and we'll take Chet Holmgren.
I would like that piece with Giannis with the Thunder if they can keep Chet. Now, if Hartenstein is in that deal with those picks, possibly. But again, I don't know
I have to have Chet. I like Isaiah Hartenstein.
You're right. They're going to want Chet.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. They're going to want Chet. I mean, he's what,
24? No, I'm going to ask you right now. The Bucks call, and they say 3 first-round picks, and we want Chet Holmgren, and we're going to give you Giannis.
Look, you're going to listen hard if you're Sam Presti.
What would you do?
Oh, my God. And Giannis is what, 34, right?
32 this season, I believe. I think we talked about this. 31 now, be 32 next season.
That is a really hard call. It really is. I can make a case both ways, but if you're trying to win now, and you would have to think long and hard about it, but I would love to keep Chet. I would.
Reggie, I've got you on the phone. You got to make a decision here. You can't say I can see it both ways.
Oh,
Hold on. I got the Lakers on the other line. Hey, what do you want to do here?
The Lakers don't have the assets we do. That's what I'm saying. Lakers don't have the assets we do. Let me get back with you.
They want to give Austin Reeves, and they want to give.
No, that's not it. Chet would be better than Austin. No.
Okay. So you're keeping Chet Holmgren, and you're not trading for Giannis.
I'm still looking to trade for him, just not giving up.
You have to give up Chet Holmgren. Hold on, the Clippers are on the other line.
Okay, that's a different question. Okay. I don't know, Theodore. That's tough. I love me some Giannis, but you're going to have somewhat of a spacing problem with him and SGA.
I agree.
You know what? I'm keeping Chet.
Okay, all right.
I'm keeping Chet.
All right, fine. So you got the Knicks in 6?
I think this goes 7. I think the Knicks are capable of winning a game 7 on the road in San Antonio. This is going to be very competitive. Here's the things that I want to see, and especially early on. Game 1 will be interesting because I talked about the rest versus rust. The Knicks are going to have to run, which they've done all postseason. You can't play slow down basketball versus this Spurs team because they're too good defensively. And we talked about the OG and the Wemby matchup. I think that Wemby's going to be on Josh Hart. They usually put him on the most ineffective three-point shooter. If Josh Hart is making threes, which we saw the last 2 rounds he did, that makes it interesting because you've got to try to pull Wemby away from the paint because they do such a great job of switching, and he finds himself always in the paint. So all those drives are nullified. If Hart can make threes, if Landry Shamet can make threes, and then if you pull them from the paint and you're taking these threes, that's when Karl Anthony Towns should have the advantage on the offensive glass because that means Julian Champagnie or Devin Vassell, those guys are guarding him and Mitchell Robinson if he does play, which I think he's going to play with that broken pinky, crashing the boards. If the Knicks can do that, they're going to be successful. If they can draw Wemby from the paint, we're going to see what we've seen all postseason. Teams scared to get in there, and the Spurs will dominate.
Yeah, it might come down to something simple like, can Josh Hart make threes? Can Stephon Castle make threes? Because if I'm the Knicks, I'm going to say to Stephon Castle, if you beat me out there, good for you. You deserve it. But I want you taking those shots. And Josh Hart, they might be saying the same thing. We're not letting Brunson. We're not letting Karl Anthony Towns beat us. If you beat us, you're a better man and a better team.
And to your point, I will say this. Stephon Castle, he understands that teams are doing that, and he still puts his head down and gets in. What I would do, too, if I'm the Spurs, I am going to put whoever Jalen Brunson is going to be guarding. He will be in every 45 action, that high screen and roll.
Yeah.
Either you're going to switch or you're going to try to fight your way over. But Brunson and Cat will be in every action to make those two guys work defensively.
We were talking about the greatness of Barkley, that people kind of forget that he was a great player. They see him now as a great analyst. Like, I mentioned John Madden. People forget he was a Hall of Fame coach. They're like, oh, that guy. But Charles, like, it's so strange to tell people about when you say that guy right there was unbelievable. And if they didn't see him, like Shaq you get because you go, oh, okay, God, that guy's so big. Like, how would you describe Barkley? Because he's shorter than you are and was not afraid of anybody who was 7 feet or bigger.
You know, I tell people in today's game, there's a few people that would be like Shaq in today's game. I don't know how these young guys would have ever guarded Shaq. I put Charles in that same category because at 6'4", 6'3", maybe even, he was one of the strongest men I'd ever seen. And this is a guy, he was country strong. He wasn't in the weight room like Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone and throwing around stacks of weight. He was country strong. And he could do everything from shoot threes. We know about the rebounding, but was tough as nails. I mean, guys were just flying off him. People don't understand. And, he gets the knock, obviously, like myself, of not winning championships. The era that we played in, man, and some of the dudes that we went against, it just wasn't stacked in our favor. But I would put Charles on one of my all-time teams. Just if you needed a bucket.
Okay, would you? If I said you can have Tim Duncan or Charles Barkley?
Here we go again. Here we go again. You're not getting me in trouble.
You're off duty, Reg. You're off duty the whole summer now.
Look, Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward of all time. So I would take Timmy.
Okay.
Because Timmy played, obviously, at both ends of the floor, too. At both ends. Right. But that's not to knock Charles. Charles would have given Timmy problems. He would have given Timmy problems. I'm just saying.
Okay, it's not a tough question.
No, it's not. I mean, out of those two, who do you like?
Duncan.
Duncan, yeah. I mean, that's the right answer. But Charles is knocking on the door.
Fritzy, is Charles with us?
Up and around right now.
All right, okay, Charles.
Thank you.
I wasn't going to do
Thank you.
Karl Malone, Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley.
Okay. Todd, is Karl Malone on the phone?
He's right here, line 3.
Because I've seen a large sample size of that up close in the 96 Olympics. So I know, and Karl is great, don't get me wrong, but Charles and I were like joined at the hip in the 96 Olympics. We did, everything on and off the court, we were together. But the practices were of course better than the games. And those two had to lock up every single day in practice.
Did you get in trouble with Charles?
We didn't get in trouble, but we ruled Atlanta. We were running the 96 Olympics.
Magic City Wings.
No, we weren't in Magic City. No. But we were running the Olympic Village.
Okay. Thank you, Reg.
I appreciate it, Theodore. Hey, congratulations to you and Fritzy, man. That is just special. I'm glad just to know both
24
of you.
years. 24 years.
I mean,
we've been together longer than you and your wife have been together.
Oh my God, you're right. You're right. And see, 25 is what? That's the silver anniversary.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my goodness, Fritzy, I'm proud of you, man.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm proud that you've been able to put up with these.
Proud of him.
You know,
come on.
I'm just honored to know both of you gentlemen and all my Danettes.
I'm like Phil Jackson with Dennis Rodman. I'm just hoping that he shows up and wants to play.
Look, Fritzy, he was the main one to help me facilitate this, what we have here. It's been all Fritzy. I love you, Theodore. Don't get me wrong. Right. Our chemistry is great, but people need to know what goes on behind the scenes.
Right.
Fritzy, you move the envelope, my friend.
Okay.
You move the needle.
How about a round of applause for Fritzy? Yay. Reggie Aloysius Miller Jr. III. Thank you, Reg. We'll take a break. Last call for phone calls. What we learn, what's in store tomorrow after this. Guys, if your hair isn't playing like it did in your 20s, it might be time for a real comeback. And throwing on a hat isn't a strategy. Nutrafol started today. Make the hat optional. Visit Nutrafol.com. Promo code Dan Patrick.